Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Thank you. So, a very good warm welcome to all the respected organizing committee members from the Joint R&D Center of IAGOA and IIS Nagpur, and all the participants joining us today for the seventh session of our one-month online certificate program on artificial intelligence for AYUSH Healthcare and Research, which is titled Cleaning the Data Preparing AYUSH Datasets for AI. It is my privilege to introduce our distinguished resource person for today's session, Dr. Prasanna Kulkarni sir. Sir is a senior Ayurveda physician, academician, digital health innovator, and AI in healthcare professional with over 22 years of experience in Ayurveda education, clinical practice, research, and healthcare technology. He currently serves as head clinician, intelligence and innovation AI Labs at Kerala, Ayurveda Limited, Bangalore. He holds an MD in Ayurveda and a MS in Data Science from Liverpool John Moores University, United Kingdom, and has also completed a postgraduate diploma in Data Science from Triple IT Bangalore. His work focuses on integrating Ayurveda with artificial intelligence, data science, and digital health and clinical intelligence. He has contributed extensively to the development of AI-based Ayurveda tools, the structuring of AYUSH datasets, and the application of machine learning in healthcare research. His notable achievements include digitizing more than 25,000 shlokas into a searchable digital format and developing several AI-enabled platforms for Ayurveda education and clinical practice. Sir is the recipient of Best Teacher Award 2025 from the National Ayurveda Teachers Association. He has been a keynote speaker at the Cypher 2025 AI conference and has delivered invited talks at national and international forums on artificial intelligence and Ayurveda. With great respect, I now invite Sir to kindly take over the session. Welcome, Sir. Over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. First, let me get the confirmation whether I'm audible and visible.
Sir, good evening. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Audible and visible. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for confirmation.
Welcome. Sir.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Thank you, sir. Fine. So, without wasting much of the time, let me quickly start my presentation. Before starting, respected organizers and fellow teachers, researchers, and AYUSH faculty members. In fact, it's my privilege to be a part of this 1 month ongoing AI for AYUSH faculty members. It's really a very honor for me to be a part of this and share whatever I have gained a little bit of knowledge in this AI era. So with this brief introduction, let me start on the topic that has been allocated for me, cleaning the data. Now, why we have to clean the data? For preparing the AYUSH data set for artificial intelligence. Yeah, that's the reason why we need to clean the data. Now, before I move on to the next slide, please confirm that whether my slides are visible.
Not shared yet. Not visible, sir.
Not visible. Okay, 1 second, sir. So I have screened my share. Now, is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not much familiar with this Cisco platform. Okay, fine. So let me once again start my presentation on cleaning the data. Now, why that is required? Now, by the end of today's presentation, we will be able to understand what exactly are this missing value, how to understand the missing value, inconsistent formatting, what exactly is that, how to identify the duplicate records, and over to that normalization, what exactly is that and why normalization is required. And as a bonus part of today's presentation, I'll be taking you through a data tool which will help you to do much of the automation task. It is much more faster and convenient than dealing with all these components through Excel or Google Sheets, right? Yeah, this is my commitment. And yeah, I'm also being a teacher. Unless otherwise somebody stops me or rings bell, I'll be keep on speaking. I may not have a grip on the time. So I request organizers to please stop me if I'm going beyond the schedule, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Now, yes, sir. Now, why AYUSH data is a messy when it comes for AYUSH data? Of course, given data, any data can be messy, but when it comes for AYUSH data, here we come across more of messiness. Now, why? Because of multilingual text. Right from our academics, we have been taught to use Sanskrit letters. Dosha, I never write D-O-S-H-A. I will write it as Sanskrit dosha, right? Like the same Vata Pitta Kapha. So that makes multilingual text bit complex for AI to understand and interpret accordingly, right? Subjective assessment. Yeah, we have various parameters to assess. And when we collect the data, it will be very hard to quantify consistently. We will be seeing various examples down the line. Longitudinal follow-ups when it comes for Ayurveda, yeah, patient, whosoever comes to us has to deal with the same physician for the same condition for weeks together, months together, and years together. And hence, there will be too much of a big file of data that need to be translated. Multiple data source, when we conduct research, it can be a multicentric research. So apart from my point of data collection, I have to rely on other place. So then also there are chances of being messy, because in my data I may have a name, age, gender, whereas my other peer may be collecting it as name, gender, age. So that may create a lot of messy human entered data. Yeah, this is a very, very challenging one. Many a times we rely on our interns. You know how interns work at clinics. I'm not blaming them, but they may not have the accountability or the seriousness what exactly they are doing. Or we may be giving this task for other clerical person who may not able to understand why he is doing the task. What they do, they will be using a lot of symbols, abbreviations which are not standardized, and hence we have to land up at final stage when we are at to go for data analysis. So that's the reason before we may not give importance, and afterwards we may land up in shock. These are all the various reasons why we land up in shock. Certain columns, certain cells may be empty, inconsistent entry, Vata Pitta or VP, or in Sanskrit, age can be 45, or in words or letters, or with YRS. Okay, there can be some impossible values. I have witnessed many of my interns' handwriting where they are more smarter than physicians. Their handwriting will be more doctrine kind of thing than actual doctor. Okay, so of course, jokes apart, I'm just giving you interns as example. Even I have gone through that phase. It is not blaming anybody per se. I'm just giving one example, right? So instead of writing pulse rate as 90 per minute, they might have written 901 MIN, which makes 901, right? Which is impossible. Missing follow-up dates, all these makes it dirty data. And when it becomes dirty data, we can't create a powerful AI algorithm, because in AI, what we study is garbage in is garbage out. So if we feed a clear, transparent, consistent data, we can expect a good output. Else, it is as good as garbage. Now, let's try to understand the relationship between this data. Of course, it's a part of data science, AI, and ML. If you go through that image, you can understand how these three are interrelated. Data science is a domain where we focus on collecting data, analyzing it, interpreting it to get a meaningful insights, a meaningful knowledge out of it. That's how we deal in data science. Now, what exactly happens in AI? This AI it thinks like human based on the data that it has been trained on. Based on the data training data, it thinks like human and gives the output. Now, where comes this machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of AI where it tries to predict, and this prediction is one of the core component for artificial intelligence. If you take artificial intelligence on the top, our data will be bottom. This makes the pyramid. The strong foundation of any artificial intelligence tool is its data, right? And hence, dealing with data is very, very important, and that is the need of the hour. So for example, you ask any LLM tool as of now, today, I don't know what is going to happen after 2 months from now. If you ask, get me 7th shloka from Charaka Sutrasthana, 5th chapter. Now the LLMs are not being trained to that extent, right? You can play around later, Gemini, Chat GPT, whichever LLM model you take. As of now, you may get the output, but I'm not sure that that will be the exact shloka what I meant with that reference. Now, why? Because right now a proper data has not been ingested to any of the AI model as of now, as per today. After 2 months or 3 months, don't know, right? So what exactly is this dirty data? If the data is having missing values, say for example, in any of the given shloka, samadosha, samagnisha, samadhatu, mala, kriya, in that if word mala is missed, gone case, the whole shloka can go haywire, missing that mala word itself, right? Many a times, if the data is not properly entered, these missing values cause a lot of variation for the insights. Formatting errors like male with male, or sometimes with symbol. We have beautiful people entering the data, so they may commit lots and lots of mistakes. Duplication, many a times one intern enter one case sheet in one Excel sheet. When he gives his duty to the other person or any staff in a research domain, they may not be, when they don't communicate properly, then there are chances that the same patient data can get entered into that data sheet, right? There are high chance of duplication. Outliers are the extreme values. Say for example, the person who enters the case sheet may be so busy that he has added one extra zero, thinking that zero does not carry any meaning. So instead of 25, he enters the data as 250 years. It is a typical example of outlier. And mismatch. Instead of entering the values in kg, it may be in pounds. Now, why pounds? Because on the weighing scale, some of the weighing scale comes with a toggle to adjust with. If the person stands on that, there are chances that if the toggle is not properly uh, set, it may give value in pounds. Of course, thanks to newer technology, these things have been already taken care. But at least few years back, we used to have such issues. Many a times we have witnessed the value on digital weighing scale in pounds, right? So either it is generated through the machine or while entering, if a person create a mistake, say for example, 79.1 kg, he may write 79.1 gram. Okay, so these are all scale mismatch, which makes the data very messy. These are all the problems we may come across when we don't handle data properly, right? I will not go in detail. You can understand these a bit later also when I share these slides. Now, how to deal with this? That is more practically relevant things to discuss in this platform. Missing values. Now, what exactly these missing values are? Missing values can be a blank cell. Now, why this cell is blank? Because for the simple reason, the person ignored that cell. Or patient, if say for example, patient has to be, age has to be entered in a busy schedule. A person might have forgotten to write, because for him, any age above 18 and below 59 may be the same. But when we conduct research, basketing these age groups makes a lot of difference when we try to draw better insights with respect to the intervention or whatever the research question may be about. Coded. Many a times we may write NA. And what exactly is this NA? Not applicable, not assessed. There may be several meaning for that. We may send a patient for lab investigation and the patient may not come with the report. That can be NA, right? We need to have a metadata or summary where we have to mention what exactly the codes that are being used. If at all, again, it can be NA. Many a times there can be a placeholder text, zeros, unknown, all this rubbish thing can be added or maybe missed out, which causes this missing value. Now, we can have three types of this missing data. One, missing completely at random. Patient number one cell is maybe missing. Patient number 10, fifth cell may be missing, right? This is typical example of missing completely at random. Or it can be simple missing at random. Missingness can be explained by other observed variables, where I can get the insight how to deal with this missing at random. Or it can be missing not at random. Okay, so these are all the typical types to understand why this missing of the data has happened. Now, how to deal with this? What exactly happens? Patient did not answer. Say, for example, if the Prakriti, when you are assessing Prakriti, some of the parameters like sleep quality, digestion might have not answered. Field worker might have forgotten, or the test was not performed. There need to be a Nadi Pariksha or Geo Pariksha has to be done because of my hectic schedule. I missed it. Or I might have done that, but data entry person missed to add that in that case sheet or in that profile, in that data entry sheet, right? Or when we merge data from multiple source, there may be mismatch of the headers. So these are all the typical reasons for why this mismatching happens. Now, how to handle this? Very simple. There are three simple rules which I want you to keep in mind. One, delete the row. If you are, let's presume, I presume with this notion that you'll be entering patient data in rows and all the headers will be there in columns like name, age, gender, chief complaints, diagnosis, before diagnosis, laboratory investigation, diagnosis, treatment. They forms the columns in Excel sheet and rows patient 1, patient 2, patient 3, patient 4, like that it goes. Let's presume this format, right? So in this format, if less than 5% of the data is missing, then how we should do? Remove those two rows, which is very easy one. It may not have much impact if the data size is about, say, 200. If I'm analyzing 200 patient data set and in which two patient data is missing or partially missing, then better to remove it. And let me analyze the statistics for n value 198. Right. Then if the data is misproportion with less than 15%, then fill with average. Okay, now how to deal with this average? Mean, mode, average, you know about that. So with respect to the average, either you can do the average of past 5 values and succeeding 5 values, or you can average with the whole of the n value of the data set. It again depends on the researcher. You deal with that, but make sure that you entry if it is less than 15%. You need to mark as unknown where guessing is not allowed. Say, for example, you are conducting a research on Amavata using Rasnayarandati Kashaya. You want to check in which Prakriti individual this Rasnayarandati Kashaya is going to work, or does it work in all varieties Prakriti distributed individuals who are diagnosed with Amvata? If this is your research question, then you can't keep this Prakriti column blank, right? So it is the researcher's decision to take a call what kind of imputation has to be done, right? Now, how that need to be imputed? Very simple. When it comes for Excel sheet, of course, now at the end of this talk, I'll be taking you through that tool where you can learn this in a very simple way. Uh, Let me presume that you are using Excel sheet. These are the steps that need to be followed. Follow these steps. You can understand it in a better way. It's very simple. Control A, Control Shift and everything will be selected. Go to Home tab, find and select, go to Special, click on blank, right? These are the steps which you can follow. One of the method to find the blank cells. When you do that, I thought of going through this, but it may take some time for make it to understand how those blank cell looks like in a given Excel sheet. Of course, I'll be dealing with a big dummy Excel sheet with 1,000 patient data set for that experiment. So in such Excel sheet, you can easily identify blank columns, blank cells by using this simple Excel functionality. And of course, you can go for count blank. It is one of the function in Excel. You can even use that in an empty cell and select the range. A is to A is the range. Means in this formula, you are getting it done in the A column. Again, you need to select from which A row to which A row. Say, for example, A2 to A200, something like that, where this empty cell, number of empty cell will be counted over there. This is one of the Excel formula you can use. And whatever the things you observe, always make a habit of making a note. Create one data logbook, maybe in that Excel sheet itself. Create one one sheet at the end, call it as data logbook or data version book, whatever you want, you give the name. Whenever, whatever you are doing, please do enter with the date and time, what you have done. There are chances that you might have done one task and after a few days, you may have something else in your mind and try to deal with the same kind of missing data. If you have such log, you can go through that and figure out whether you have dealt with that in the past or not. So this is one of the best practices you can adhere, right? Now, missing data, yeah, it can be delete, it can be fill with average, whatever you want, you do. As I mentioned, it is a researcher call that can be done. Now, the second part after dealing with missing values, the second is inconsistent formatting. Let's try to understand this. This is the typical example of a simple patient gender, right? You might have written male, M-A-L-E, M capital, and all in lowercase, only M in capital, M-A-L-E all caps or M small. Or sometimes in case sheet, I have witnessed it with the symbols, of male and female, right? O with the arrow mark on the top and O with the plus mark on the bottom for male and female, right? Imagine as a human beings, we can able to differentiate these 5 variants, but for AI, it will be difficult to deal with. I'm just giving you simple example. Now it has dealt with that. It has understood whatever you enter. Now it is in a position to deal with that. It has learned. But when we are training the model with the naive data for which the AI has not got exposed, like say, for example, Kashyap Samhita. I don't think as of now AI is having exposure towards Kashyap Samhita, right? In such instance, it may misinterpret the value and hence maintain a standard. Vata Prakriti, again, Vata spelling V capital, V double A, V with Roman this thing letters, V capital. All these are different types of entry. Again, when it comes for date, we have varieties of presentation. DDMMYY or DDMMYYYY. Sometimes Excel may take MMDD. You may adhere to that because Excel, you want to go with the Excel flow. You can change it. There are options to change that. You decide what you want and adhere to that, right? 75 kilograms can be 75, 75.0, 75 kg, 75 space kg. These are all various formatting aspect. It is not missing. You have entered, but not adhering to specific pattern. That makes AI difficult to understand. You may think this is very easy thing. Why AI has to struggle that? No, don't think in that sense. You are giving a much bigger task for the AI. Let it not worry for this small correction, right? So as human beings, we read, we know how to deal with that. Nobody needs to teach me. Even a first year BMS student can understand the meaning of 75 or 75 kg under weight heading, right? No need to explain anybody, but for AI, for sure, instead of teaching every now and then, let's adhere to a specific format, right? Various other formats are there, again, with respect to Prakriti. And again, the difficult challenge comes when we deal with herbs. One, spelling, obviously. Ashwagandha may not be always ASHWAGANDA or GANDHA. Within a somnifera, or it can be W dot somnifera. There may be other variants of that. Okay, all these may cause lot of data disturbance analysis, which may result in a bad analysis. And hence, we need to have a clear-cut formatting option also, which we need to define very well in advance. A best practice will be write a drug name and in brackets use its specific Latin name. Shatavari, Ascaris racemosa. Fine. Guduchi, Tinospora cardifolia. Fine. I know it. Yes, write it. Spelling, yeah. For that instance, let me take help of any AI. Go to Gemini, ChatGPT, write that, get that, make one data directory. Whenever you write Guduchi, it should be like Guduchi in bracket Tinospora cardifolia. You can select all, replace all, those kind of thing you can make. But in the beginning itself, you have to define in what kind you are going to enter, in which format you are going to enter drug name. The same thing holds good with the dose. Are you going to write dose with units, the number with units, or only number, and on the heading you will be writing in grams or in milligrams? You take a call, but define before you enter. Okay, and then another common thing is textual references. For me, one shloka, I may call it as Ch.5 or 5 by 55. I know Ch is Charaka Chikitsa, Charaka Samhita Chikitsa Sthana. 5 is 5th chapter, 55th shloka. I know because academically I have been brought up in that way. My teachers used that, my peers used that, my seniors did that, and I am following it. Even if it is not written, if it is SA/SU, then also it's fine for me. But for machine, no. You need to define how you are going to write one simple sentence in your metadata. Define how you are entering and adhere to that. Please pass the message to other peers whosoever deals with your data entry practice, right? And how to fix this? Again, very simple. In your Excel sheet, open Control A, which will select all the cells in that sheet, and Control H, where you will open find and replace. Find what? For example, here, Pitta is in all caps, all uppercase, PITTA. Now replace with P uppercase followed by ITTA lowercase. Do it. And that will replace across Pitta into lowercase Pitta. This is one. The same way you can use some formulas, like the formula which I have given, proper, what exactly, upper, lower, trim. All these are the some of the Excel functionals which use it to understand. Prepare one dummy data. I will share that dummy data with you. Play whatever you want using these formulas in that Excel sheet, right? All your data will get replaced in a short span of time. I have dealt with Excel sheet. Now, currently, I am having one Excel sheet which is about 17 MB, where I have compiled more than 55,000 shlokas from different references. To open that Excel itself, it takes around 30 to 45 seconds. I need to have a lot of patience to open that with my CPU intact, right? So the whole of the data, this replacement I can do in a matter of 2 max 5 minutes, right? That's the power of Excel. Okay, use all these formulas, apply it, you will get lots of insights. Use it. Now the third important challenge, very common challenge, is duplicate records. Now, as I already told, why this duplication happens when there is a change in hands, okay, or even when we are in not focused at our working place, there are chances of duplication can happen. Same day, the patient might have visited twice and I have entered only once or twice. Okay, there are many such instances. Now, how to identify? Again, once again, in Excel, you can do that. Select that column, paste it in other sheet. There is in data, you can go and search for data duplicate. Click that, you will get only unique values. There are other methods also. Again, you don't need to worry about this when you get exposed to that tool, which we'll be discussing in next few minutes from now, right? Yeah, removing duplicates. Of course, there are some functions in Excel which you can do that. The fourth aspect, what we come across in data cleaning is outliers. Outliers, extreme value. Now, why it happens? Some obvious error. Age, writing it as 250, which is impossible. We are not witnessed any person living beyond 140 years in India, right? How can you treat a person with 250 years, right? Impossible. Blood pressure, you know, the value is present over there. Drug dose, right? These are all the common outliers you come across in your data sheet. Now the question is it wrongly entered or typo error? That you have to take a call. There may be some unusual but possible values. It can be an outlier, but not impossible. Say, for example, age 25 years. I have seen a patient with triglycerides of 1950. I don't call, yeah, it is outlier. I have seen a patient. Of course, he came to my room on his own leg with a report in his hand. These are all extreme. Of course, I confirmed with that lab. I personally called that lab and confirmed the number. They told, and in fact, they have written in that report also, cross-checked for 3 times. There were no machinery mistake or lab technician typo error, right? We may have such outliers also. We need to investigate whether is it correct or typo error. See, again, when it comes for our AYUSH domain, I might have given a scale, like a scale of say 1 to 5 or 1 to 7. And here I see AMA score for AMA assessment. I see that score as 12. Now this is out of the box, which is not possible. Even if the person scores 111 for all those 7 parameters, it cannot be more than 7, right? So these are the things which we need to identify. Again, researcher has to take a call on such outliers. Okay, so how he should handle? First, check for the source. Who did that? Is it typo error or is it assumption error? Cap the value. Yes, you should know the extreme values. Of course, there is a provision in Excel sheet with the drop-down box to enter minimum and maximum value. If you are interested, you can go through any of the LLM and just type this prompt. How to enter only specific set of number in a given column. It will give you the formula. Just write the formula and drag that cell. Done. You are done. Even if you want also, you can't enter 101 if the limit is 1 to 100. Even that is possible. You can cap such value. Delete the row if there is an outlier when you are unable to understand why that number has come. Say, for example, 250 years. You can deal with that. Blood pressure 200 by 100. and you are treating that patient. Very next day when he came for follow for some other purpose, his blood pressure was say 150/90, right? So in that sense, you can delete the previous value. Maybe some situational increased blood pressure value may be there, right? So what you have to do is, if you think that that value is genuine, then analyze the data with that value. Once again, analyze the data without that value. If there is too much of difference, then again review whether you need to keep it or delete. Again, it all depends, it all varies from case to case, right? Now, for that, we have a concept called normalization. Of course, it's a bit of mathematics. I know doctors hate maths. That is the reason why they are in medical field. But this is some sort of basic understanding, which is again, which can be automated. There is no big maths over here. Now, what exactly is normalization? It is a scaling thing. Say, for example, I'm going to define in my criteria that I will be considering, I'll be dealing with a patient who is more than 18 and less than 80 years. I have defined. And if it is less, if it is more, I'm not going to consider in any way. Now, these are all the example value. Now, how to understand this normalization? The formula is very simple. Whatever the actual value you have noted minus max value divided by max minus minimum. Okay, the number whatever you get, the product whatever you get, should be between 0 to 1. Okay, let us take example. So in age, okay, we'll go to weight. Weight is between 40 to 120 kg. The minimum weight is 40 as per my data sheet, min value and max value 120. And these are the examples. Now I want to check with 72. Okay, now here I have written weight 72, 40 is the minimum in that range, and 120 is the maximum. 72 minus minimum, that is actual value minus minimum value divided by max minus min. Again, in Excel sheet, you can automate this. With this, the product will be 0.4, which lies between 0 and 1. Right? This is how you can understand that whatever the value you are entering, it is being normalized. Right? This is one of the scaling technique. Okay, the same thing has been explained in this sheet. Now, when you do normalization, multiple numerical variables are there, like age, weight, any score. Okay, but when it is prakriti related, you can't do normalization. You can't translate such things into numbers and do normalization. That you have to keep it in mind, right? So in AYUSH research, multi-source data we have to collect. These are the common problems with respect to our OPD case sheets. There will be missing prakriti records, gender entered in 4 or 5 different ways, age in one site is different kind of entry. These are all the OPD case records data issues. Pharmacologicals, yes, the issue is with the spelling or proper nomenclature or identification. Say for commonly, I may call it as Guduchi and somebody else may call it as Giloy, right? So these are all the common problems what we come across when dealing with pharmacological trials. So we need to maintain a proper log for that. Again, reference, which we already discussed, how to quote the reference. We have to make standardization for all of them. Now, there should be a cleaning plan for such multi-source data. The source may be even one place, but what if the data entry people are multi? Say, for example, you are conducting a study on Madhumeha with one XYZ intervention. In your absence, a patient has come for follow-up. Then your subordinate may enter the data, or the other physician who is in charge, or your co-PI may enter the data. Unless otherwise you have not spelled out how the data should be entered, there are chances of mistakes. Now for that, these are the simple plan which need to be kept in mind. Audit each source separately. Each data should be cleaned before merging. If you are entering, fine, you have input the data with certain logic, but whatever the logic, spell it out. Teach the same thing to the others. If it is multicentric, fine, or in some other system, if the data is entered, group B data is entered in some other system, before merging, make sure that the format is same or not, right? Create a unified data directory. That's what I was been telling, metadata. Spell what need to be entered under which column, under each row, what need to be done. Standardize units before merging. Some people might have entered in mg, some people might have entered in kg, some people might have entered in grams. So prepare a standard before you enter the value. Use a unique patient identifier, which is very, very important. Either you can give number, or you may have some pattern to give the number for that patient. Always identify that patient with that ID. It can be P01, P002, these kind of things, because there can be 2 Amits, 5 Prasanna in your clinical trial, where if you are targeting for 1,000 cases, right? And always keep a change log. If you are changing anything, say for example, you started entering data with, let's presume age as 45Y, 65Y, 15, 59Y, Y being the common letter you are using, right? With space between the number and the letter. And suddenly you will get an idea that, oh no, this is a wrong practice, I should not use that Y. Then in that change log mention, from this day I stopped entering letter after number. Yes, so this will help you from which day you started this new practice. I'm just giving you a very high level example. It can be of various instances. Again, it can be related with chief complaints. You have various formats of entering the chief complaints. So take a call on that. Yes, one of the participant was rightly highlighting SOP. You need to have a proper SOP, and this is one of such SOP, right? If you define in that SOP, then you will minimize such errors. Your statistical analysis will be less burden at of your study. Yeah, these are certain checklists which you have to consider. The same thing what I was discussing all this time. Data cleaning checklist, prepare a checklist and maintain that. There are some formulas, all those things you consider that. Yeah, now comes the important thing. I want a participant to take a pic of this QR code. Later you can download and keep it on your laptop. You can do that evaluation earlier, because as we are running out of time, or else I could have gone for hands-on training. But with respect to the time factor, I will show you how to understand this. Based on that, later you can go for it. I will minimize my screen and I will go to, is my folder visible? Please confirm.
Yes, yes, visible.
Fine. So there is a tool which is called OpenRefine. And in that QR code, I have given all the instructions. This is a 12-page user manual, which I have created for the sake of this presentation. You can go through that. Now, once when you download that tool, okay, you will be having this zip folder. Unzip that, you will get this. Click on that. These are all the files present in that folder. Now, there is one .exe file. Click on that .exe file. Just observe, there will be a PowerShell or CMD like this. Ignore that. On any of your browser, either it can be Edge, Firefox, or Chrome, you will see page like this. So far, so good. I told 3 steps now. Sorry, I was in a bit hurry. Number 1, there will be a URL in that manual. You need to click on that URL. Okay, from where you will be downloading this OpenRefine software. It is in zip folder, unzip. Okay, after that, you have to click on .exe file. Then that third step is it will open into one of your browser. Right now, you are on this page. I need to create a project over here. I will choose file. Okay. As I told you, I have one messy data. Okay. I will select this, click on open. Now it got uploaded over here. I click on next. Yes. This is how the data is. There are about 1,000 data sheets. Okay, it is showing only 100. Of course, again, how much hour I want, I can deal over here. These are all the columns like patient ID, name, age, gender. You can see some of the missing spaces over here. Now comes the question, how to apply this tool. So now the issue is with, okay, before I do that, I need to create project. Okay, so here is the create project. I click on this. Now the project is created. So far, so good. Fine. Now let's presume that I have to deal with Prakriti. As you see, there are varieties of entry of Prakriti over here. So what I will do, I will click on drop down box and there is first option facet and I click on text facet. Okay. Now I have 45 options of this Prakriti entered over here. There is uppercase K, smaller case K, all letters of kapha in small and K capital APHA, NA. Now, to deal with, what I will do is, I will edit this. Okay, at least this one, I will make it as capital K. And see, observe there are 45 choices and this capital K 19, small k 14. Apply. See the change. That small k1 gone. This has become 33. Now let me change NA to just, I will take off this N in between, slash in between and apply. See 26, 29 numbers over there changed. It's NA 55. Like that, you can play whatever you want. Of course, if you want to see, you can have this cluster. Click on that cluster. Okay, one second. Let me close. I will show. If you want to understand how many clusters, there are 43 choice. I have dealt with 2 normalization, 2 adjustments, 2 replacements. Now I'll click on cluster. Cluster is this one. If you click on cluster again, you will get all the varieties over here. Vata / pitta, Vata P capital pitta, Vata - pitta. Now I want to adjust this. I want to change everything with Vata space pitta, which is not at all part of data entered. Okay. So what I will do, merge, select and recluster. Done. Right. Like that, whatever I want, I can select all. There is a default selection. Okay, whether I want, I can go with the default or I can do whatever the changes I want. Then I will click on this. That's it. Close. Now you can see at least from 45, now we are with 28 choices. Of course, K is actual one. Of course, kapha and K I need to address. At least certain things I can see. Vata, Pitta, kapha written in Devanagari Lipi. Even that need to be dealt with. Right? That is one such case. And for facet, you can click on that. You can see how many entries. See, if you see in this data, The age is 100, 101, 103, 105, 109, 114. See, 130. In this dummy data set, there is a patient with 150 years. Okay, you can modify all of them under this. Don't worry, whatever you want, you play around, your data will be safe. Of course, if you have a threat of losing, duplicate that, right? Make a duplicate copy, then play around. But whatever has been done, it is on this tool. It is not yet reflected. Now, once when I'm done, I will click on this export, whatever the format, either XLS or ODF kind of thing. I will click and it will get downloaded to my downloads. Okay, so I thought of discussing about this. There are other tools, of course. Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets are very commonly used one. JASP is there. It is one of the topic in 30 days program. Orange is there. Okay, where you will understand much more on this data handling one, right? Yes, key takeaway, clean data is a foundation for machine learning, for AI. Hence, that is very much required. Every blank is a decision. You need to take a call, minimize such errors, adhere to proper formatting, normalize levels by playing around, right? To conclude, AI does not create knowledge. It extracts pattern from what you give it. We started with garbage in, garbage out. Yes. Decent data in, decent insights out, right? If your data is clean, structured, and honest, AI will reveal insights you never saw. Friends, please use such tools, play around to see tremendous insights with AI, which you have not yet even thought, right? If your data is messy, biased, careless, then it is definitely a nonsense dressed as science. You will get fooled. Ask ChatGPT or Copilot any specific shloka. It will create shloka and give you. AI never tells that it does not know, because telling I don't know is an insult to any AI model. It never says I don't know. It creates and give you the falsified information, non-factual information, insights. So the choice is yours. Start with the proper data, clean data, and you can see a lot of changes in the form of insights. This is the QR code of my website. You will get a lot of AI tools. Of course, Brahatrai is there. You can read all three, Charaka, Shushta, Ashtanga, with all data insights. I have done a lot of statistics on Brahatrais. If you want to understand the distribution of term Agni, you will get Agni with Vata. You will get all such insights are there with even AI enabled translation is also available in that eBrahatrai. Apart from that, even Sanglish AI tool is there. You can translate any shlokas with Ayurveda Binkor. Just go through that tool. Many. Some of them are free. Some of them are with nominal charges. You can explore that. Again, it's left to you, right? So it is rightly mentioned in Rigveda that Anubhadra Kurto Entu Vishwata, let the noble thought come to us from all the direction so that we do something good for the humanity. Thank you. And I really thanks Amit sir and all the organizers for giving me this chance to share whatever I know. I understood a bit in data science domain and applying the same in my AI understanding. Thank you so much. I feel myself good that I'm within time. We have another 6 minutes to go. Yeah, if you have any
Yeah,
questions. Yeah.
yeah. So thank you so much, sir, for very detailed explanation. That's the main major topic where scholars lacking, because they go for the analysis only, focusing only analysis and then entering data wrongly. So
Yeah.
this is the very important topic as sir explained in very detail. So I encourage participants. So please revise the things, and if you have any doubt, so please raise your hand so I can send you the unmute request. So you can discuss your doubts here. Subhas Wagari, raise your hand so you can unmute yourself at your end. If any doubt, you may raise your hand so I can send you the unmute request so you can discuss your doubts.
Uh, Sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This is Dr. Subhash Wage.
Hi, sir.
Whatever I could get from the entire lecture is that about the filling the proper information to the AI tool for
Yes,
getting
sir.
the proper answer.
Yes, sir.
Is is that it? It revolve around that only.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's about your data preparation. Either you give it to AI or not, that is a secondary thing, sir. But it is about the data creation, data preparation, sir.
Data preparation.
Yeah.
So where I mean where to process this all this? I mean where to put
Yeah,
this?
that's the right question, sir. That's the right question. When you have a proper data, clean data, transparent data in your hand, you can reach out to any AI engineers or can tie up with any institute those deals with such training models. In fact, in our company, we are coming out with one AI tool, Ayurveda GPT. Okay, where we will be launching all this. Now, currently, what we are doing is the data preparation part. We are considering all these parameters so that the AI learns in a better way so that it throws a proper insight to the user. So this presentation was intended to give you an information about why the data need to be cleaned before it reaches AI or any such model. It can be AI or it can be machine learning model. Okay, so the sole purpose is to create a proper, thorough, transparent data so that based on your data, you can train that model so that it gives you proper insights, sir. That was the intention behind today's presentation. Data cleaning. Have I answered your question, sir?
You answered, but the whole thing just I got that you need to put the proper clean data for processing. That's it.
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay, fine.
Because sir, if we are go for simple research analysis, then it's okay. If we miss something, if we entered anything wrong, we can correct later also. But for AI and for ML models, we have big data. So if we are going entry wrong and just garbage, and we think that we later we can manage anyhow, so it's very difficult. So in big data, it's uh, needed and it's a compulsory that you set the column as per their variables and as per their units as are discussed. You need to fix all things before entering the data. That is the best thing for creating a big data. Because in ML, it's a very difficult to manage the big data later on. For analysis purpose like thesis and paper, it's okay. You can manage later also. It's a very easy. But for the big data,
Model.
it's a compulsory to manage data from the starting. If you need to work on AI and ML models, day by day you will get the idea why it's important when we go for Orange and all other lectures.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
In this context, let me give one small example. While I was
Yes.
preparing for my dissertation work during my MS data science, I got a 10,000 patient data set related with lipid profile, and my research question was to label based on lipid profile whether the patient is diabetic or non-diabetic. 50% of my job was on data preparation. 50% of my job was on data preparation because the way how the data structure was not useful to inject to AI model. Unless otherwise it takes, I used to come across lots and lots of errors. It will not go to the next step itself. So in engineering, we need to have a proper data set. For that, data preparation matters a lot, sir.
Yes, basically, in advance, if you go for Python and other things, then if we don't have proper data, then always we get errors in the
Errors.
while we are running models.
Yeah.
So it's, at that time we are focusing on to create models, and if at that time we are going to check our data one by one, and it's a very difficult and time consuming. So it's always recommend for a big data, always prepare pre-plan before entering data, before start of the entry of any data. Just create a proper plan to avoid any further errors in codings and all things. So, Dr. Vaishali, you may discuss. Dr. Subhash sir, have you got the answer?
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes. Sir, you were giving the example of kapha, say, and the say, for example, the spelling of kapha or shoth can be written in many ways.
Different.
है ना?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you said that first for your model, for your data set, you have to fixed that which spelling you will be using, and for all in all further references in all your entries, you have to put the spelling of
Yes.
shotha. Only one you have to select.
Yes,
But
madam.
my query is, means, is there any possibility that, for example, in Ayurveda, for a word, we will be having many synonyms, say, and with a little bit of difference in meaning, different shades of meaning, that different words can be used, and is there possibility that at the back end of the file we will have such for example, in uploading our papers, we will be having some supporting files, and in that supporting files we will have the explanation of the terminologies we were using. Means Ayurvedic experts, we do have this practice
Yeah.
regularly. So can we
Yes.
have such things in our preparing data sheets, that
Sure,
these
ma'am.
three words, they are
Yeah.
indicating this, like.
Okay. So let me answer your question step by step. Number one, first define what exactly you want to enter. So, for example, shota or swelling. Let me take an English term for better understanding. It can be shota or it can be swelling. There are chances that in some instance you may write swelling, in some instance you may write shota. To fix this, the first issue is you have to define that cell itself. There is a possible of drop-down box to select which one you want to enter from that defined parameters. That is one way to go. Second, yeah, you might have entered swelling and shota here and there. Control A and define what exactly you want to enter. This is step 2. So that you will have uniform either shota or swelling at one point of time before injecting it to AI model. Third, you don't know how many such challenges are there. You don't want to take any chance. You want AI to learn such synonyms. Yes, you can give one more metadata stating that these are all the terms that are being used for this representation. Am I clear, madam? Say, for example, Guduchi may have 5 synonyms. Of course, it is having 10 plus synonyms, but in your data entry or the shloka, whatever you have ingested or on which you have done the processing, there are 5 synonyms for that. You have to define these, all these words indicate Guduchi unless otherwise specified. That is third approach. Again, it depends on you how you want to go. My suggestion to you is when you are entering, first be unique, or else you need to discuss with the AI engineer who will be taking your data to the next level, how exactly he needs, have one-on-one conversation, then fix, or else you can tell him this is already prepared data, I can't modify, but these are the synonyms for this entry, you can modify. So he will train the model with those synonyms as metadata. This is the third option. Again, it depends on what synonyms you are using in different contexts, madam.
So I hope, Vaishali ma'am, you got the answer.
Yes, thank you, sir. Means
Yeah.
there is a window that we can train that model.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
But
Thank you.
my suggestion to you would be, why to go to that level? Because already that model has to deal with a lot of other things. It is at your level, na? Modify and give the clean data to AI engineer.
So
Wherever
Dr.
it is
Athira,
possible.
please.
Namaste, sir. This is Dr. Athira. Thank you so much for your session. It was very simple and very informative. As you rightly told, data, entering the data or collecting the data is the most important and initial part of building any tool. And I've been following you since many years, and I've used various tools that you have developed, sir, including Prakul. And sir,
Okay.
just one doubt. It has really
Yes.
helped me, and also it's a very good tool, sir. I really want to say. Just one doubt, sir. Like you had told, data collection is important, and you showed us an example with age where it was 143, 148, and different outliners were there. And age is related to Agni. In some cases, we can definitely change, but you mentioned that wherever there is a relation, it is better not to change. So, and also you told, just to clarify, if it is less than 5%, can we change, sir?
Yes, madam. Again, it depends on what kind of data you are dealing with. Again, it is a researcher's call. And again, whatever the decision you have taken, spell it out. Later, you may need to review based on the outcome or insights what change you have done. In the other context, I have given the example. One, assess without any change. Second, analyze with the change. Compare both the outputs, then take a call.
Okay. Sir, one more doubt. You told about renaming, like if you want to make any changes henceforth, like at a moment we decide we need to make a change. So, should we also replace the data, whatever we have collected before? Should that also be renamed or replaced by what changes we are doing, sir? Like you just gave an example of patient ID, but if it is something like that simple one, is it mandatory to change the previous ones as well, sir?
Yeah, this we call as a DVC, madam, data version control. You create one as a raw data where you get whatever you have, then you make different version, DVC 1.1, and you spell out what kind of changes you are making in DVC 1.1. And after some days or some weeks, you will get one more insight. Instead of that, let me replace these values with the numerical value. Like there are certain things like one hot coding kind of thing. You think that need to be replaced like this. You come across one more such replacement that will be DVC 1.3, 1.5, where you have to spell out what changes you are doing. Okay,
sir.
this will help at two levels. One, the data engineer will understand the different versions of the data changes, and at the same time, even the model can also understand how it has received and what kind of changes it is undergoing.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, one more doubt. With
Yes,
your experience, which is the best data cleaning tool that you would suggest?
till now, I was using Excel sheet only. Of course,
Yeah,
Python, I
best,
use
powerful.
right, left, and center. Python is my always favorite one. Okay. Excel sheet, Google Sheets are fine for the kind of data what we deal with in our day-to-day practice. However, if the sample size is on higher side, if we are dealing with large number, then you can go through that tool which I have showed.
Oh, okay, sir.
It's very
Thank you so
simple.
much, sir.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Yeah, as for the iOS fraternity, Excel is sufficient and powerful while you are
Yes.
using with formulas. And for formulas, you don't need to remember, just go with ChatGPT and ask for the formula.
Yes.
We have to do this, and please provide the formula. Simply, it will give you for the formula.
Correct,
So,
sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. Meenakshi, please discuss your doubt.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Am I audible, sir, right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Dr. Prasanna, sir, it is a very nice presentation, and we were able to learn more things from your presentations. It is a wonderful session. So, I have 2 to 3 questions for you.
Please.
The first question is, what you have explained all this in all these slides. It takes the imagination that it is AI tool is more important for any research that we are taking up with AYUSH. This is one question. Is it that, or it can be also used for even a day-to-day practice in a clinic or in an hospital? This is my first question. Second
Yes, sir.
question already, I want to clarify yesterday for the past 6 days itself, whether the textbooks which are available in AYUSH streams, either it will be Ayurveda or Siddha or Unani, whatever the case may be, the stream may be, whether that text can be used as a training data set for AI tool to learn so that it can help us for our practical clinical practice. This is second question. Third question, you please list out some
Sir,
of.
shall I answer one by one?
Let,
I may not
Yes,
able
sir.
to
Yes, sir.
recollect all the
let
questions.
them answer.
Okay. As per your first question goes, yes, this data cleaning is very much required. Forget about AI modeling. You are injecting into AI models, sir. At least for the sake of our own research purpose, our own insights, we need a proper clean data, sir. Say, for example, if you want to take average of all the years, and in between, if there is a white space or Y letter as a year indicator, then the summation will never happen, sir. Forget about the average. Even summation cannot happen. And hence, at least for our own sake, we need to have clean data. So this was my answer for your first question.
Yes,
Second question, it was related with Shloka. Yes, when it comes for data, we classify data into three headings: structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. Structured data is the Excel sheet, what you have seen in a tabular form with rows and columns. Semi-structured is like JSON files. And unstructured data is our regular textbooks. So now what we are doing is, in my regular day-to-day task, we are trying to translate this unstructured data into structured data with various columns and headers, right? So by that, instead of asking a machine to read Shloka, we are making it to read a cell or maybe MD file in which the Shloka is present,
okay.
which is very much compatible with the AI model.
Okay.
Okay, so we are translating unstructured data into semi-structured or structured data, sir.
Yes.
I think I answered your second question. Now,
Yes,
go ahead with your third question, sir.
Sir, at least list out some 2 to 3 AI tools that we can use at this initial level so that we can learn more about AI tools.
Sir, one already I exposed you. In your upcoming classes, there are some tools like Orange, just all those kind of things are going to help you a lot, sir, in dealing with the data. And there are some other topics I have gone through, which you will have a lot of exposure towards AI models, sir. You can go through that. And for the sake of other things, if you're from Ayurveda background, definitely you can visit my website where I have posted more than 11 AI tools, like Sanglish, the example which I told, where you can translate all the Sanskrit shlokas word by word and line by line. Every word will be dissected and it will give a proper meaning. There is Foodie GPT is there, and Ayurveda teachers guides are there. Many PG scholars, there are some AI tools are there. You can explore all those things on that platform, sir.
Yes, sir. And a final question.
Yes, sir.
Since we are focusing on integration of all the medical systems as a one, so whether it is possible to integrate at least all the OU streams, since each and every system has its own fundamental principles and it is dealing with its own language and other things, and even the approach to the patients is also varying. Whether it is possible to integrate all these streams.
By all means, sir. By all means. The thing is, it's all about joining dots. Now, what we are doing is working on Ayurveda dataset. Now, you work towards Siddha dataset. Some other will work on Unani dataset. Some people will work on Swaripa. We need to just join the dots and ask the AI model to give appropriate outputs. See, in some of the system of medicine, dealing with one condition will be better, whereas the other system of medicine, there may be some lacuna. So we can overcome all such lacunas when all these dots are joined with the help of AI tool. It's all about language understanding and translation for our purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand what you are saying, but my doubt is that, say, for simple example, that Ayurveda is taking Vada as a restricting factor, whereas Siddha is taking Vada as a creative factor. So this type of mismatchings or even in the fundamental principles also are there.
Yeah.
So that I am asking this question.
Yeah, I understood, sir, but I don't know about Siddha. Maybe we can have another session where the experts from both the domain can discuss and come to proper conclusion, sir.
Sir, this is the thing that is
Yeah, I
confusing
know. I got it, sir. I got it. I got it, sir.
system, so
Understanding
that
the
I am
basic
asking this.
concepts.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Because
we will be on
likewise,
the
it
same
may
page.
vary with Unani, Sovar Igba, and
Yes,
even with
yes,
the
sir.
allopathic system of medicine also.
Yes, sir. Very true.
So
Yes, sir.
we have to overcome this so that we can achieve.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we can definitely overcome, sir.
Yes, sir.
Not
Yes,
a
sir.
big
Yes,
deal.
sir. And a very nice thank you, sir, for your
My
great
pleasure,
explanation. Thank you, sir. Very kind
My
of you.
pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
So thank you, Dr. Meenakshi. Let me check. There is no query. How to transfer Sloka into structured data type asked from Vaisali Malik in the chat box.
Yeah. So this was the issue which I was facing since 3 years, but I fixed it out. The problem was in bifurcating the complex terms of Ayurveda. Samagni, Sama plus Agni. It can be Sama plus Agni also. It will be Samagni. So these are all the challenges which I come across. For that, in my e-Brahatrai application, what I did is I have kept Shloka raw as it is, and IAST version as well as what was the other IAST as well as Devanagari. So all these 3-4 formats for this 25,000 plus shlokas I have taken. That is the reason why that the size of that Excel sheet is on higher side. 25,000 shlokas, the same gets replicated so that the AI tool will, or just let's keep AI aside, the machine will be able to understand where to split and how to split. That was the one of the beauty of translating or understanding shloka by using these kind of letters. One is Devanagari for sure. Second, IAST, Roman Indic. So if you present the data in these three versions, the chances of misunderstanding can be minimized.
Yeah. So further you will learn in NLP when we go for natural language processing, then
Yes.
definitely we learn deeply in that way to convert a sloka into structured, how we can do that. So day by day we move on to complex topics. So we are just, this module is focusing on data, that this is very important thing before going for any model development, model building. As in previous module, 5 lectures, we covered the foundations of AI. And in this 5 lectures, ongoing 5 lectures from 6 to 10, we cover the data portion. Then we go for further steps. So no query in the chat box and no raise hand. So thank you so much, sir. Very excellent session, and thank you for sharing your expertise with all of us. We really enjoyed the session, and I hope all participants get benefit from the session. So participants, if you missed anything, you can revise the session and the PDF will be shared so you can get the details from there. So now, on the behalf of our organizing committee and team, as Dr. Praveen sir is there, Mohan Joshi sir is there, uh, on the behalf of IIA Goa and Institute of Applied Statistics, we convey our sincere thanks, sir, for your time and expertise and your valuable contribution to this ongoing certificate program. Thank you so much, sir, for coming.
My pleasure, sir.
So participants, the last announcements for the next session that will be conducted on Monday. So we have sufficient time to revise the things. The next session is on Monday on the topic predicting disease pattern classification made sample. In that topic, we learn classification, binary and multi-class, Prakriti classification, simple model logic that will be delivered by Dr. Anirudh Joshi. To be on time, we again have some sessions, and day by day we learn in more deep way the AI tools and techniques, logics, and concepts. So I again request we share the feedback form and quiz. Please fill the feedback form, and the quiz is up to you. This is not compulsory. This is for practice purpose. You may attempt the quiz for learning purpose. As we get a few queries from a participant who joined the group late, so the recorded links will be shared again in the group. You can miss if anything, you can revise through the links again. As PDF of from session 1 to 5 already shared in the group, so you can you can save them in your PC and laptop for further use. Thank you all. This is the end of today's session. Thank you. Have a great evening.